For the next 4 years, I will fight for you every single day.
A victory rally today for President-elect Donald Trump in Washington, D.C., less than 24 hours before his return to the White House. Trump also paid homage to the nation's war dead at Arlington National Cemetery. Monday's swearing-in ceremony will look far different than usual, with it being held indoors for the first time since 1985 due to frigid temperatures. Well, President-elect Donald Trump will be sworn into another term tomorrow, 8 years after he was first elected.
News Plus host Daniel Woodruff spoke with Utah's newest senator, John Curtis, about what's different this time around and what he expects from a second Trump term.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
When Donald Trump first became president in 2017, John Curtis was the mayor of Provo. Now he's the newest senator from Utah.
It's been a fun 7 years, a challenging 7-8 years.
Curtis is in a Republican majority that's about to have a Republican president, but he believes there's a different feeling in Washington now ahead of Trump's second inauguration compared to his first.
You'll remember 8 years ago we were hearing things from my Democratic colleagues like, he's not my president, we're not going to work with him. And this time it's very different. You're hearing a number of people from the other side of the aisle saying, hey, we're going to find places to work together.
Curtis was elected to Congress during Trump's first term and has experience working with him.
He seems ready to govern. I think his experience, having done this before, matters and will be helpful.
But Trump has also stirred up controversy by promising mass deportations once he takes office. He's also talked about getting revenge on his political enemies.
Do either of those things give you pause as a senator?
Curtis wouldn't say, instead talking about how it's time to work together.
That's what the American people expect. That's what I'm hearing loud and clear everywhere I go.
As Trump takes office, he's still trying to get his cabinet assembled. Curtis announced he will support former Fox News host Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, even though Curtis acknowledged there are actions from his past that give me pause.
I think it's fair to say I did have concerns, but I've also heard really loud that America wants accountability in our military. America wants transparency in our military. When I told him I was going to support him, I was like, don't let me down. I've got big expectations, and America has big expectations, and I think he's the guy that can go do that.
Curtis says he hasn't made up his mind yet on other Trump nominees like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or Tulsi Gabbard.
Is there pressure on you to fall in line with other Republicans and say yes to President Trump on all his nominees?
You know, I'm kind of smiling because I actually feel it's the opposite. I just feel a lot of pressure to be me, to be independent, to make a good decision and make a decision that represents not just me, but the state and reflects the will of the state.
Over the next 4 years, Curtis says he's optimistic about the country under Trump, but promises to push back against the president when he needs to.
Nobody hires a board of directors to just say yes to everything. And I view myself in many ways like a member of a board of directors who gives advice.
Ultimately, the new senator says this next term should be about tackling problems that he insists are bipartisan.
I feel, and I think all of Washington feels, this groundswell from across the country to do the types of things that we were all elected to do.
Daniel Woodruff, KSL 5 News.